What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle. And yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up, right? Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or a video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before you get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you tired of being a zero? You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, there's going to be some information that's going to help you win. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Chase Bank scams. Yes, people are taking over Chase bank accounts, and they are doing a lot of different wire fraud scams, a lot of different check scams, a lot of different scams and fraud and schemes just going on right here in this day and world. And as the world evolves, the scams and the methods will evolve as it right along with it, right? So this new method that's been going on with Chase Bank and Zelle accounts is, like I said, scammers, fraudsters, and hackers. They find loopholes, um, and they exploit those loopholes in the system. So, like I said, wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed, and banks are one of the main targets that scammers go after because banks have a lot of money. So now in today's world, they have connected. Like I said, there are a lot of different new ways to send and receive money. And with these new currency transfer, money transfer applications, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Chime, Apple Pay, is giving scammers and fraudsters new ways to commit new crimes and new scams. So most bank accounts have Zelle connected to it, which makes it easier for people to send and receive money, wire transfers. Now, like I told you guys all the time, where there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. And there's a lot of different hackers and scammers and fraudsters out here in this world. And they all possess different techniques, different ways to obtain some type of revenue, some type of way. Now, hackers are people who are good with technology, good with systems, good with getting into things like that. And hackers are able to figure out passwords, create malware. They're just good with computers, IT tech, nerd department type of people, right? So with that being said, hackers and scammers are hackers are the ones who create compromises and leaks and hacks. They're the ones who are getting into people's computers and companies' computer databases and compromising information. Now, with that being said, scammers, hackers, and fraudsters are figuring out new ways to make their job easier. So scammers and hackers, or mainly hackers, are starting to pinpoint certain places and certain information to get to be able to utilize and sell. Now, as the world is evolving, the scams and the frauds is evolving, and it's a lot of OTP bot scams and fraud starting to happen in the world. And OTP bots scams are basically people getting people's numbers, going through this bot service. That bot service will call your phone, and the number will pop up on your caller ID as if it's the bank or some or Coinbase or something like that, wherever they want it to pop up as. And they'll give you this script as if something is happening with your bank account or this and that, for you to be able to provide your information, and give you another script for you to be able to, you know what I'm saying, not utilize your account while they're doing whatever that they're doing. And people are utilizing credit cards and debit cards, because debit cards and credit cards don't have, I mean, they do, but they don't, because debit card and credit card have PIN numbers, but sometimes you can bypass the PIN in certain places nowadays. Like, you can literally bypass the PIN. So that's making it easier for scammers and fraudsters to be able to use stolen debit and credit cards, because some companies allow, the POS machine allows you to bypass the PIN, and then it'll run it as credit. And if it allows you to run it as credit and bypass the PIN, you don't need a PIN number. You can just tap, swipe, insert, and go about your business. And scammers are getting people's information off the dark web, because, like I said, there's hackers, and hackers are hacking different bank systems. And when they're hacking these bank systems, they're getting people's information, phone numbers, and things like that. So you can, on the dark web, there are places you can buy a list of people and their numbers and what bank they bank with, because that hacker or person has compromised that bank system and got that information, which allows a scammer or hacker to be able to buy this list, have this list of people who bank at that bank that they're targeting, and be able to call those people utilizing the OTP bot and get personal information. And it's going on a lot right now. And then they utilize the Zelle to they get into your account, send money out using Zelle and debit cards and different things like that. So we're gonna watch a little video of what's really going on out here, because people don't really understand.
About a widespread scam using Zelle to steal from Bank of America customers. Well, now criminals are widening their net, targeting customers of other banks as well, tricking them into sending them money through Zelle.
Banks mostly say it's the victim's responsibility. Among the latest, a longtime Chase Bank customer. He tells his story to 7 on Your Side tonight.
Now, how would it be the customer's responsibility if we're putting our money into this bank account that is FDIC insured, federally insured, up to $250,000, which means if you guys are offering insurance up to a certain amount, that means you must know that these type of things could possibly happen. So you're insuring our money to make sure we're safe. But to say that we are responsible for these type of things is ridiculous, because at the end of the day, when we call the banks and we got to check on things in our account, and these people, these call center, these representatives are helping us, they're not at the bank. 9 times out of 10, they're at home, working from home. And who's to say what's going on in that home, who's around them, what's being done? Because they can say, oh, I didn't know that was some. They can listen. It's, you know how easy it is for somebody to have, let's say I'm working from home, I'm on the computer like this, and my girlfriend is at my house, and she's just walking behind me doing whatever she's doing, acting like she just rubbing on me and do whatever, but I can't see directly what she's doing. So who's to say that she won't be behind me taking pictures of when I got information on the screen or things like that? You just never know what's going on. Who's to say that she's that somebody who works at home from the bank might be in cahoots with this type of stuff and got that job just to get that type of information? You never know. People handle our personal information all day, every day, which makes it easier for scammers and fraudsters to get this information, because we are vulnerable any way that it goes, because we got to give information to be able to get into our accounts. We got to give information to do a lot of different things nowadays.
Michael.
Dan, this viewer wanted to expose what's really going on after he got bilked by imposters claiming to be from Chase Bank. And just like they did with B of A customers, these crooks say they're helping you stop a fraud when in reality, they're the ones stealing your money.
Holy smokes, no way.
This person told me that someone was trying to scam me.
So this is happening to many people.
It appeared as though it was a text message from Bank of America asking me if I was trying to transfer $3,500.
I said no. And within 15 seconds, my phone rang.
So the trick is they get the information off the dark web. They go on these various forums, websites, wherever, and they, buy. Hey, they might present it as, hey, I got Chase Bank customers, whatever customers. They get that that number, those people's numbers, and then on the back of the debit cards, there is a number, and that number is what the scammers and fraudsters use when they're using the bots to call that person. So by that person actually having that, so they already know that person got a bank account with that bank, so they already know that they're going to get a reaction out of that person. So that person gets a text message saying, hey, $1,000, are you trying to send or wire $1,000 to blah blah blah? They gonna be like, no. And this is how they trick people and do people, and then they call that person. Like, they send a text message, then they call them just to verify it. And that person, who, if they're blind, they'll start verifying information and giving information for the fraudster and scammer, and they're just writing it down, taking it for that. Now they're going to get into that person's bank account. Sometimes since they got that person's phone number, they might do a SIM swap. Like, it's a lot of different things that's dealing with technology is making it easy for scammers and fraudsters to commit these methods, because the government are the ones who's creating it and making it allowing for people to do it, because wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed.
He said, okay, we're going to get you that $3,500 back.
You're going to go to Zelle and you're going to send it to yourself.
They were all targets of the same scam. All believed they were reversing a fraudulent transaction. All were actually sending money straight to the imposters.
$3,500 was gone right then and there.
It was an eye-opener.
And all.
So basically, they make you send the money so you can have, like, it's like, if the bank, this is the problem. The bank will hold you responsible if you consented the transaction. So if you are the one who actually sent the money, no matter if you were being scammed, it's not their problem. And that's the loophole that the bank uses, so they won't lose out or have to pay you back any money, because the bank is going to get the money back, but they don't want to get the money back to you, because they give it back to you, then they're going to be out of the money. So
were customers of Bank of America until now.
It says Chase Bank, fraud alert, Zelle payment in the amount of $2,000.
It was a Friday night when Donald James got the frightening text.
If you made this transaction, reply yes. If not, reply no. I said no, and my phone rang, and it was.
And that's how they get you. They send a bot, they send a text message, people fall for it, they say no. Once they say no, the person calls the number that they have and they act like they are a representative from that bank. Now, since this person is under fear, as if somebody is really trying to fraudulently send funds, they're going to give that person information because their mind isn't all the way there. And once they give that person information, then that's when the scams and the frauds start being committed.
Ryan from the Chase Bank Fraud Department.
Or so he thought.
Caller ID number was identical to the one on the back of my Chase card.
But the caller ID was fake.
And he goes, well, let's go over these charges. Did you send a Zelle for $2,000? I was like, no. And he says, we need to send the money back to yourself.
The imposter told him to transfer the money.
That would have been a red flag right there, because first of all, where are you sending the money back to yourself from? Like, where did the money go for you to be able to send it back? Like, how are you sending some money that has left your account back to yourself? It makes no sense.
Money with Zelle using his own phone number. It seemed like it was going back to Donald. It wasn't.
I was getting notifications on my phone that I had sent myself money.
He typed in the transaction codes and the imposters snatched the money at the other end.
I sent out $7,000 over a matter of several transactions.
One transaction went awry. The scammers got angry
and hung up. And I went, wow.
So what they do is they try to drain you as much as they can out of money until you stop, and then that's what happens, and then that's where you really catch on. Like, wait, hold on, what? Like, that's when you catch on that it's a scam.
I have been scammed.
It was the same con that hit B of A customers across the country, and like B of A, Chase denied Donald's fraud claim.
Basically, their attitude is,
And that's where it comes in that they denied his claim. They denied his claim because he was the one who actually sent the person the money. So it's a lot of scams going on out here. Like people would do that and then try to like reverse the funds and act like they didn't do it. Like people out here that buy stuff using certain things and then reverse the funds, like dispute it, and it happens all the time. I know people who have done it before. So once they figure out that you are the person who actually sent the funds, it's a no go because they didn't take it out, you sent it out.
If it's on Zelle, shame on you.
Federal law requires banks to refund victims of fraudulent money transfers. But Chase told Donald he authorized those payments, even if it was a scam. And Zelle offered no fraud protection.
There's no protection. There's no chargeback. There's no nothing. And they know the account number it went to.
What got him most? Chase's denial letter saying, quote, as we discussed and agreed.
For them to know the account number that it went to is ridiculous because all you gotta do is say who's attached to this account, get the information, and go ask them questions. But they don't do that. See, this is why fraudsters and scammers do the method because of this right here.
No action will be taken.
We'll be clear. There was no discussion and there was no agreement. And the next line is this inquiry is now resolved.
B of A has refunded some victims of the Zelle scam. When we asked Chase about its policy, the bank only offered a warning that bankers will never ask you to send money with Zelle.
And that's why they target certain banks because every bank has different policies. So by them knowing that this bank has this policy, that by them sending the money, they're not going to get the money back and it's going to be resolved and nothing's really going to happen. So people find loopholes, people find ways to commit certain schemes and scams and fraud dealing with banks because banks are the most powerfulest company that deals with money next to the Federal Reserve, and people want to get lump sums of money very, very fast, and they want to do it the easiest way as possible. So like I tell you guys all the time, it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware because it's a lot going on in this world that's happening. A lot of people don't believe it can happen to them, and it's time to stop being so naive. Anything can happen to anybody. So it's just all about being more safe. Norton LifeLock will monitor all your social media accounts and your financial accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. So make sure you guys are getting that. And it will monitor your personal information to make sure it's not floating around on the dark web and being sold for people to buy and commit certain crimes. So make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock. Also, make sure you guys are freezing your credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian because if it's frozen, nobody can get anything in your name. Nobody can even check your credit score. So make sure you guys are freezing your credit profiles. Also, make sure you guys are getting new debit and credit card numbers every so often. We swipe, tap, insert all day, every day, order from online, all these different places. And every time we do, our information is being stored in these databases. And we all know there's compromises, hacks, and leaks is going on all the time. And if that old information is on that database, it won't work because why? You knew to get a new debit and credit card number with new information. All right, so make sure you guys are staying 10 steps ahead. Make sure you guys are staying more aware, being more safe, and being more cautious because this is a crazy world that we're living in. There's a lot of scams and a lot of fraud going on. And to be more safe is to be more cautious, to be more cautious, to be more aware. So shout out to all my real King Hussle fans, supporters, subscribers out there because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping in sauce. And y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime 1-on-1 limited gyms are $1,000, but for limited time only, I'm doing it for $600. Yes, $600 Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the $600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Also, make sure y'all booking y'all see on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 250, 10 seats. Ask me and get help with anything that you want to get help with in this classroom setting. So let's go have fun and let's get this knowledge. Make sure y'all booking y'all see on the crypto tour in person limited gyms. I'm doing a deal, $2,500. You come to me, don't miss out on the opportunity. Make sure y'all book y'all see on a month-long mentorship. $1,000, $500 for the first 10 people in a free load. Don't miss on that. 30 days. Let's get to work. Make sure y'all check out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App Millionaire Network. Still looking for people for the production company. Still looking for rappers, singers, models, producers, cameramen, women, gamers, streamers, and content creators. We're going to do a lot of skits of blogs, movies, music videos, traveling, networking, and having fun. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitch, my IGs, and TikToks. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hussle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live.